Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're looking at something a little bit different. It's actually the PNSO Megalodon, which was originally released in 2016. I think they re-released it in 2017, and they also re-released it, I think, in 2019 with to correct some seams which were particularly noticeable around the jaw area here. But you can notice right away that this is an absolutely stunning model regardless. I mean, even with in the original kind of version, you could say, um, I think it was 2019 they released without the seams on the jaws Anyway, you can see it, regardless of whether it has seams on the jaws or not, the model itself, just the body and the musculature, the creases in the skin and the detail, and the jaw, is just incredible. It's an incredible shark model. Now, Megalodon is our fossil remains of Megalodon have not been too great. There's only been the jaw found, and of course you will have seen, if you're familiar at all with Megalodon, probably will have seen its jaw compared to that of a great white shark, and of course it's a lot bigger because Megalodon was a huge shark, giant shark. I think some estimates have it going up to around 18 meters long, which is absolutely crazy. But I think I think some estimates for like the average adult would have been probably quite a bit smaller than that. Anyway, this is an amazing model by PNSO, and it's one of the older ones. And I wish that in 2022, 2023, they would do these larger vinyl models like this, because it is vinyl. It's not. It's quite a how can you say it's a lighter model than the other ones. So you have like the Wilson the T-Rex, for example. You can find it quite hefty. It's quite a heavy, solid figure, whereas this is not really, to be honest with you. And you can see with just in by with a size comparison with my hand, that it's actually quite a large model. It really is. These larger vinyl models are really great from PNSO, the older ones, and that applies to also Nick the Ceratosaurus, which PNSO released. I think it's their hugest, largest model that they've produced. Of course, they do have the Huanga Titan, which is another huge model by PNSO, but we'll get to that. We'll get to Nick the Ceratosaurus and hopefully the larger vinyl models of PNSO later on, in a year or next year. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever acquire the Huanga Titan. Back to the review. So, the Megalodon shark. So let's get into the head sculpt. So as I said, it's a very light model. It's not hefty at all, but it looks heavy. It probably looks a lot heavier than it actually is. It's really light, honestly, really light. Much lighter than I thought it would be when I got it out the package. Let me also turn the light on. That would have been a bit better before I actually started the review. But here, as you can see, we've got some amazing musculature detail, especially around the jaw area. Here you can really see how strong these jaws would have been. And of course, the muscles are working to open the jaw, and it's going to be closing after it finishes this huge bite, which is probably going to try and take out of a creature, a sea creature, maybe a leviathan that it's hunting in the ocean water. Who knows? But that's how it's posed. It's kind of posed in like a hunting kind of pose. As you can see, the body is curved a bit, so it's kind of swimming to its left, turning to its left. As are many dinosaur figures and models, they're usually turning one way or the other, or facing backwards, just to make the pose a bit more interesting. But yeah, you've got some really nice musculature detail here. Really nice detail here along the gills. The gills are painted in a nice red. And going down here, you can see that creasing really is apparent also on the bottom side, especially along the fins there. And The mouth is just probably the scariest thing I've ever seen. I mean, look at all those teeth. They're not particularly sharp, so you don't have to worry too much about pricking yourself. But the jaw doesn't go too far down. You can't really see it too much with the lighting, but the jaw is not that deep. That's about as far as my finger can go. It doesn't go on indefinitely, but as you can see, it does look like it. It does definitely looks like it does. You got the nostrils here on the top, and you've got some nice creasing as it goes into the gums there. The gums are painted in a really nice kind of pinkish colour and really realistic looking. I would say really realistic looking. You've got some nice darker pinks and reds even mixed with those lighter pinks, which really gives the gums a realistic look. And actually, there's some like a really light pinkish tone around here. You can barely see it on camera, but that's what it is. So yeah, that's that. And as you come around here, it's the same story really. Really muscular, really good muscular jaws here. The eyes are just a straight black with a slight grey lining on the outside of the eye, well, on the perimeter of the eye, you could say. On the top, we do have some rather curious looking scars, and we've got some really nice creasing on the top as well. The scars are a little bit weird, some people have said, because of how white they are. Personally, I think they're okay. I think they could have made the white a little bit maybe more faded, so it looked a bit more like it actually blended in with the body a bit better, because they just do look like scratches that have been made on the model after, and it looks like a kid's just kind of scratched the nails on them. But so that's a bit of a disappointment in the model, but we do have these really nice patterning on here. So you got some like much darker kind of bluish greys combined with the lighter grey of the body. And this is a really nice thing about this figure, is that it's so natural looking, and yet it looks so beautiful in its paint scheme. That musculature look goes all the way down to the tail here, but you can really see with this big bit, just how big the musculature is on this shark. You can really see how powerful that tail would have been propelling it around. One of those scars as well is on the fin. Nice creasing on the fin as well. Not the one good thing about this model is that it doesn't seem to me to be over textured, which is a problem I have with some of PNSO's figures, including the Mosasaurus and Wilson the T-Rex. So just to name a couple, there are others. But as I said, back to the review, we have a nicely curved tail. As you can see, it's flexing on this side, so you can see the muscular detail. And then on this side, you can see that the muscles are stretching, and it coming up to here, you can really see that muscle definition as it's stretching and curving to the side. And the back fins are also nicely detailed with those creases, just like we see on the top fin. Now, the bottom side, of course, I've just looked at it up here, but you can see we've got some nice creasing on the as it leading up to the fins there. We've got some nice muscular detail here. There are some smaller fins here with some bluish grey painting on them, bluish grey marks, and then of course it's grey on the top, as you can see. And then we've got some nice spotting along here as well. Just nice faded spots. So the PNSO Megalodon does come with a rather dubious stand, because it barely stands on this little stand here, and it comes with a nice realistic kind of almost diorama-like base, which I do like, and it is kind of glossy looking, which is nice. But again, I feel like with the stand they could have improved it a bit just to hold the shark in place a bit better, because one gust of wind and the shark is off the stand. One little gust of wind, not even a big one, a little gust of wind could blow this shark off. And that's how I lost one of these stands for the Leviathan model that I have from PNSO, because it knocked the wind from the when the window was open, knocked off the Megalodon, and it hit the Leviathan, and now I've lost one of the stands that the Leviathan was standing on, so I am currently balancing the Leviathan on a seashell and its other stand, so that's annoying. But the stand is okay for what it is, and when you've got it standing, it looks awesome. So yeah, and it is secured with a nail, and you kind of have to push the clear pole in to the sand when you're assembling it, but it isn't too difficult at all. But yeah, the PNSO Megalodon is really, really good. I'll just get some comparisons here. So here is the PNSO Irma, the Momentosaurus. Of course, Irma is a lot longer because it's a massive sauropod. And then let's have another random comparison with Wilson, the T-Rex. So that is the PNSO Megalodon. I got it about $36.99 from Everything Dinosaur, so it's not too expensive. And there we go. See what I mean? It just knocks over really easily. But that is the PNSO Megalodon. I really enjoy this figure model, should I say. It's really nice. Again, that stand is not too great, but it's definitely worth the price for the model that you get. It's a really high quality model for the price. $36.99 I think is an absolute bargain, especially when you think about the Mosasaurus from PNSO, which is £50, which is insane. Yeah, I think the value for money you get with this model is crazy. It's really good. Really, really good stuff. I will be reviewing the PNSO Leviathan at some point soon, so I'll do some size comparisons with that in that review. But yeah, I hope that you found this review helpful in deciding if you want to buy this model. I think it's in stock at Everything Dinosaur right now, so you can pick it up there. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you found it helpful, as I've already said. And I'll see you on the next one.